Mario, I think we're on the air, my friend.
Are we?
Yes.
But something doesn't seem right.
I know, I don't see the cats.
Yeah. Is it the cats?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Otherwise, when we're sitting across the room.
Right, oh yeah.
That's really all I noticed different.
Very Christmassy.
Welcome to week 14, folks. This is Ed and Mario. Lights out, Spina. We don't know what's different about the show. Maybe you guys could text us at just hit send PH to 5574. Let us know what's missing on the show. All right, some quick scores to go over. First of all, from Thursday Night Football, Cleveland 3, Pittsburgh 14. Kind of a ho-hum game. Harrison will probably be fine for his hit on McCoy, though.
Oh yeah, that was vicious. That was a vicious hit.
McCoy's dad is pissed that the Browns let him go back in after being what appeared to be a concussed on that play.
Well, I would be too.
But if McCoy's the kind of guy I think he is, he was like, "Oh, I'm fine, coach. It's just my knee or something."
Yeah, right.
I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
Which you can't let them say that. There should be a certain test that you should implement right then and there. And it was, he probably shouldn't have played, but whatever.
Mm.
So Pittsburgh is still on the wild card race at 10-3 with that win against Cleveland. Indianapolis 10, Baltimore 24. Not as good a week for the Colts this week as last week.
No,
the Ravens only put 24 up on the Colts though. So.
Yeah, what's up with that? I mean, they seem to be. Are they? I mean, I know it's the Colts, but I would just expect a little bit more from their offense. Their offense seemed to be a little bit more high powered. I don't know. Yeah, it just seems like their offense has been more high powered.
Right. Yeah. Well, also Baltimore was at home, and have you noticed that they don't always really play their greatest football at home?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not about winning or losing, but the amount of firepower that you see.
Right.
It's like they're just kind of. It's a defensive-minded stadium.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Okay, Chili Rogers is having a blast over there doing something probably illegal.
He's walking underneath me now.
Hi, Chili Rogers. Hi, I'm Chili Rogers.
Mm-hmm. Nice to meet you.
Cat Jackson is over there. All right, Atlanta and Carolina. Now, this is the game that, you expect Atlanta to win, but you want Carolina to have an attitude about them. Like, we can beat these guys.
Right.
They almost did, 31-23.
Yeah.
8-point game.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think the big thing that we want to talk about is what you probably want to bring up, what Mr. Jones did.
Yeah, man. I mean, just freaking amazing, as far as wide receivers, in the NFL. 3 receptions, 104 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Average 34.7 yards per catch.
2 TDs in the fourth quarter.
Wow.
That's how you ice a game.
Right. Exactly. And it's nice to see. I mean, he really kind of has been overshadowed a little bit by A.J. Green, I would say, this season, just because A.J. Green and Andy Dalton have been, that's just been a major hookup, so far. But it was just nice to see, a good old Bama boy out there. And 3 receptions, 104 yards. Good on you, mate.
Yeah. The problem with this game is it was 23-7 Carolina at the half.
Right.
What was the final score? 31-23. They never scored again.
Yeah.
The Falcons were only 7 at halftime. They scored 31 in the end, with the last 14 coming on the Jones touchdowns.
What up with that?
So it's not cool.
No.
How about them Houston Texans, huh?
How about them Houston Texans?
Division champions.
How about T.J. Yates?
T.J. Yates.
T.J. Yates.
In his second full game as a starter, right? 3 games ago he came in.
Yeah.
After Leonard went out.
Yeah.
Destiny of football is just crazy.
Yeah.
So they won the division. They won their 7th game in a row. And they did it in an exciting fashion with that 80-yard drive at the end of the game.
Yeah.
To seal the deal. They were behind pretty much all day.
Man, he looks good. He's 300 yards. I mean, he's just, doing a great job for being a third stringer.
Yeah.
Kurt Warner-esque.
It's pretty good to watch. It's pretty good. It's, like we said, we had tapped Houston to be a good team this year, but we didn't know it would be with T.J. Yates.
Right. Right.
And with the injuries they've had back and forth with their other receivers and running backs.
Yeah.
But, you know, they're a team that they just plug in the right people and get it done like you're supposed to.
And their defense is stepping up and getting it done week in and week out, so that's all you can ask for.
So, kudos to TJ-Jax. He's pretty much our player of the week here at Pigskin Holiday. TJ-Jax. TJ Oshie.
Yeah.
My boy Oshie had a good week. All right, Minnesota, Detroit. Another shootout for Minnesota.
Yeah.
A good win for Detroit.
Yeah. Yes, it was. It was a very good win for Detroit.
That
They
game
needed
was
that win.
31-14 at the half. So Detroit only scored 3 points in the second half.
Right.
This is my new thing: is to try to keep track of the halftime getting scores.
Yeah.
And see the difference between the then and the end.
Yeah.
And that's what you find out, stuff like that. So 14 points in the second half by Minnesota and only 3 by Detroit. But who could win a game?
Right. Right.
So Minnesota's losing, but having shootouts in the process.
And Matt Stafford did a good job by limiting his picks to 0 this time, so good on you.
Well, that's an accomplishment.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well,
I think he watched the episode where I went off on him and he just decided to.
You know, I
needed to up his game for
I
lights
had a
out.
weird tweet from him the other day.
Did you?
Yeah, I think he was like drinking in the middle of the night with some wine with a lady or something. It was gibberish.
Yeah. No.
Anyway,
That's Stafford.
from a good game to a bad game, at least for one team. Tampa Bay 14, Jacksonville 41.
What is happening?
Your Buccaneers have not. They're not really empowering that skull logo. They're not doing any justice.
They aren't.
What's up with Tampa Bay, Mario?
I have no idea. Like Freeman, you know, I remember whenever we first did the show, we were talking about Josh Freeman, about how he's a leader and he's like, you know, rallying this, you know, the team seems to rally around him, and he seems like he's very good at the 2-minute drills. And
what we thought.
Yeah, it's what we thought, but I mean, he's not getting it done, and LeGarrette Blount is not getting it done like he was last season. He's pretty.
He had that one good run a few years ago.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Like, why can't you like Marshawn Lynch playing tonight?
Right.
Beast mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should always be there.
It should. It should. You're a professional. Damn it.
Who had 4 touchdowns in that game?
I don't know.
Maurice Jones-Drew.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
And 136 total yards on the day.
Wow.
That's getting it done. Blaine
That is getting
Gabbert,
it
about 2.5,
Thing is,
2.25 or so.
Yeah. 2 touchdowns.
You know, I hope he gets better. I really do, because I like Blaine Gabbert. I mean, I kind of thought he should have stayed
Yeah.
another year. I always think he should stay another year.
Right. Right.
You know, Tim Tebow did it.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it when Mark Sanchez came to the NFL early either.
Vince Young is the one that really started pissing me off with that stuff.
Yeah.
He won the championship for the Longhorns in the Rose Bowl against USC. Anyway, yeah, 7 consecutive losses for the Bucks. They were up 14-0, I think, at one point. I don't know what to say about that. How about the Eagles and the Dolphins? By the way, when the Dolphins take the field next week, they will be without head coach Tony Sparano, who is
Out of here.
He's no longer there.
No.
Let's talk about the game. Let's talk about why.
Maybe because of Deshaun Jackson, you know? 4 receptions.
Deshaun Jackson, yeah, 4 catches. I mean,
Yeah.
that's 2 weeks in a row he had 4 catches.
What, for 40 yards?
He had like 34 yards last week.
Way to
like
show up,
43
dude.
this week.
Yeah.
No, but actually, here's why. The Eagles forced 3 turnovers and scored 4 times in a 9-minute span in the second quarter. And I think they sacked the quarterback 9 times.
9 times. 9 times?
9.
And you're supposed to, and your offensive, you pay people on your offensive line?
Matt Moore. Here we go with the live TV thing again. Matt Moore got knocked out of the game.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, by the way, we're also doubling as a telethon tonight, so if you want to call in and send
You
us
know
some
what?
money.
That's probably the fans telling us what's missing. Remember
Right.
we told them to text?
Oh, yeah.
They just decided to call.
Texter's going off. We forgot to put it on vibrate. Oh, see.
And I already had a phone call earlier, Robin called. I'm like, why are you calling me on Monday?
No, you don't answer the
Second
phone.
time you call me on Monday. We do a show on Monday.
Answer the
Right.
phone. You answer the phone, no. Oh, okay. So you answer the phone. Okay. I'm sorry. We don't do no more.
Uh-huh. All that for what? We'll cut that part out. Anyway, so now even though the Eagles won yesterday, and they need to in that weird NFC East division,
Yeah.
I would.
Which they're 3-1 in, by the way.
Right,
In
and
that
but
division.
and they're down here at 5-8 in the hunt.
Right.
You know what? We'll talk about that later. There's some interesting things going on over there on that.
Yeah.
But anyway, I wouldn't say at this point that they're back on track.
No.
It wasn't totally all that impressive. It was, I mean, they did some good things, but overall, it's not the explosive team we expected to see in the first place.
No, and I'm actually surprised that Miami just pretty much laid down in that game because they've kind of, I mean, they gave your Cowboys a good run on Thanksgiving. That was a great game to watch, by the way.
Yeah.
They were on a 3-game win streak before that. Matt Moore had been on a tear.
They've had good losses.
He was actually in beast mode for a while. And they've actually had good losses. And then to just lay down to a team that also is just laying down, basically, it seems like.
I think Matt Moore, he must have played Madden.
Yeah.
He got a weird Madden curse thing going on.
Yeah.
By the way, there was a question posed today.
Or maybe he looked at his overall rating on Madden and then realized, oh, man.
There's a question posted today on Facebook. Who do you think will be on the cover of Madden 13? I said Cam Newton.
Cam Newton, yeah, that could be a good one.
He's not the only prospect, but you could rally for Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
You could rally for Aaron Rodgers, obviously, but there's a lot of people you could. But I just thought
the rookie from Missouri on the 49ers. He's been on a tear. Aldon Smith, isn't that his name?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, Aldon Smith. He's been. They were talking about him. I guess it was early last week on Mike and Mike on ESPN Radio, by the way, which. They were just talking. I mean, they were throwing. I wish that I could remember right now because it almost makes my point mute, but like moot or whatever. Moot point. But they were saying some statistic that was just ridiculous for a rookie at a tight end position or a left end position, defensive end position, and so I mean he could even be somebody.
Well, if you look back,
or you go Eli Manning. He's been having.
He's a considerate. Put Peyton on there with him.
Yeah.
If you look back a few years, we had the split cover with Fitzgerald and Palomalo.
Right.
And then you had Breeze.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had Peyton Hillis. So I think it's probably time for a running back.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure who that would be, but wouldn't be Reggie Bush.
No.
All right, on to another game. New Orleans and Tennessee. A game in which Hasselbeck got hurt in the second quarter, and Jake Locker came in.
Yeah.
Not gaudy stats, but not bad.
282. I mean, 282 and a touch, I think.
This game was 6-3 at the half, by the way.
Wow.
See, Tennessee's playing some crazy ball over there.
Yeah.
They're a team you don't want to come across right now. 22-17. The Saints could have put up more points, you would think.
Yeah.
That's it.
And it was actually their defensive coordinator. I remember you and I having a discussion earlier last week, that about the defensive coordinator from the Titans who said basically, don't worry about the fines. The person we will take care of the fines.
Yes.
You go out there and play the way that you were taught.
Yeah,
and they're playing tough.
I was reading earlier that the Saints were somewhat ineffective at times. But they had, I think Coulson had 2 touches late in the game. So, again, that's a game that's a good loss for Tennessee.
Yeah.
But not a very great win for the Saints.
Right.
A win's a win. It's still a W.
Yeah, for sure.
It's still a W. How about New England? New England? CT! That's who's missing!
That's who's missing. There it is.
Oh,
How can we forget?
It took the Patriots to remind us.
Albert's not here.
Albert Schwarzenegger.
Canalville.
Good job.
That's right.
CT told you last week about Gronkowski tying the record with Vernon Davis and Antonio Gates at 13 touchdowns.
Right.
It's now 15.
It is now
official NFL record.
It is now his record.
Way to go,
Good
Gronk.
on you.
34-27. This
Wow.
game. Now, mind you, I said New England, but I also said Washington.
Yeah.
Washington. Is it wash or wash?
Well, that depends on where you're from. You go a little bit further south, it's worse.
Is it like laundry?
Well, you go down the block, it's worse.
True. This game was tied to 20 and a half.
Wow.
So that means that Washington only scored 7 points in the second half.
Yeah.
Here we go with that thing again.
Right.
This Patriots scored 14.
Mm-hmm.
14-7 in the second half.
Oh.
So, hey, the Patriots defense they got Broncos coming up, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
We know there's not going to be fireworks on that side of the ball.
Right.
But still, I mean, the Patriots defense is not, at this point, I think, not good enough to carry them to a title. Because look at the AFC picture, Mario. You got them Texans over there.
Right.
You got them Steelers and Ravens over there.
Just sitting and waiting.
And these guys, they cannot get all the way to the bowl without facing.
No, and these guys were supposed to be way better. We said that they were 14-2.
The Patriots.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they've lost 3. Right?
Yeah, I think so.
But you know what? It's just the offense is there. You know that. That's a
Yeah.
It's just the defense.
Mhm.
Packers, somewhat the same scenario. So we'll talk more about that later in our playoff talk.
Right.
All right. So how about San Francisco and Arizona? Eh?
Wow. What the hell?
Holy shit!
What? Holy shit!
19-21. Arizona wins. Man. Skelton was 19 of 28, 283 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 picks.
Yeah.
Over on the other side, Alex Smith, 18 of 37. There's part of the problem. 175.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
I didn't write down what Gore did
I think he only had 75 yards, but he had a touch. Beanie Wells had 27 yards. Very, very little running game.
Well,
on both sides of the ball, really.
These Cardinals are a team that you count them out, but you can't.
Well, they're already out. They're just pissed that they're not in it, so they're trying to keep everybody else from getting in. That's what they're.
What's his name? The other quarterback in Arizona, Kevin Cole had come back and then went back out. So it was Skelton back in.
Yeah.
And I don't know, dude. They got weapons over there with Fitzgerald. They got Peterson on special teams. You got a decent quarterback.
Yeah.
Beanie Wells running the ball.
Right.
But those guys just have an attitude about them.
Yeah.
Like we talk about. It's very important that you believe you can win.
They got a chip on their
They have an
shoulder.
attitude about it. Yeah. I mean, and they've won. Granted the Rams aren't hard to beat, but they beat them in dramatic fashion. They beat the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And now the 49ers. For only their 3rd loss of the year. Go Cardinals. Kurt Warner would be proud.
Yeah.
He'd probably call Fitz at the game.
That's gonna be my neck of the woods here.
Kurt don't tweet.
No, he doesn't.
He just calls you.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is even worse. You know?
Do you think?
Because I mean, if you do something bad and then Kurt calls you, then it's like a 45-minute long conversation about lecture, like dad to son. If it's a tweet, you can just indirectly hear, hey, did you hear what Kurt said about you? Oh no, what the hell?
Well, actually, let's speak real quick on that. At one point over dinner, he did sort of lecture Fitzgerald, and he changed his outlook and his attitude from that moment forward. He was a better player.
Really?
Yeah, I'll tell you more
I
about
didn't
that
know
later.
that.
How about, I'm going to skip this game from now. We'll bring it up later, Chicago,
Yeah.
Denver.
Okay.
How about Oakland, Green Bay? It's 46-16 is the final score.
Right.
And I don't think, they didn't even play Rodgers the whole game.
No, they said
Almost 3/4 of work.
Yeah.
They put Mike Flynn in. I said Mike Flynn. But from what you said, pretty good shootout with quarterbacks.
Yeah. Carson Palmer, I think he had like 250, I believe like 250, 253. But he had 4 interceptions. 1, 2, 3, 4 interceptions.
Palmer's been doing that a little bit this year,
Yeah. But still, But I mean, he hung on. I mean, as far as their numbers, they were very similar.
By the way, Greg Jennings was hurt.
Yes.
He's out for the regular season. So we'll see how that affects the Packers. But I think the Packers are like the Texans. They'll just plug in somebody else and they'll move on.
Right.
And
only thing that makes me nervous about that is that they move Jordy Nelson from the slot receiver spot where he's so good because he's little and he's fast, to the second wide receiver slot. So now he's a second starter, and they have somebody else. I'm guessing that I forget his name, but somebody else taking his spot in the slot, and that just kind of that's going to be a little bit more difficult, I think, because
but then it's
Jennings has got size.
It's good that you get these players that can start playing different spots.
Right. Yeah, the depth.
Like for one time, almost for a week, we didn't have Chili Rogers. We had to go to Cat-Jackson.
Right.
We still did okay.
Very true.
So Green Bay, 13-0, 3 more games to go, pursuing perfection. I'm not really worried about them losing. I don't really see it happening, but they do have that Detroit game.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
And Detroit's back on the upside, so we shall see how they are in the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
I don't know. I almost wouldn't want to chase perfection as a team. It's too much of a distraction.
Yeah.
It's an awesome accomplishment if you can get there, but if you don't, that's all. That's it.
I agree.
They don't talk about it.
I agree. And I love the fact that Mercury Morris and Larry Zonka and all those guys are still kind of have that chip on their shoulder about any team that starts to get there. They're like, no, I really hope they lose.
And they always get a phone call every time the team starts getting there.
Oh yeah.
The Colts, the Patriots, and now the Packers.
Yeah.
By the way, I'd like to have a beer with Zonka.
Oh yeah.
And Ditka.
Yeah, Ditka.
Deepka.
Deepka.
Sausage.
Sausage. Deepka.
Buffalo continues to slide.
Yes.
37-10 loss to the Bolts.
What did we say before the show? Was it a 7-game or was it a 5-game losing streak? I think it's 7.
Buffalo?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with 7.
I'm almost positive it's a 7-game slide.
I probably have it over here on this side.
Over there?
Over there?
Over here.
If I look at last week, I probably have something there. But no, I don't actually. Oh, maybe I do. Hold on.
Give me 1 second. I'll beat you to the punch, I bet. Buffalo is on a 6-game losing streak.
So it was 5, now it's 6.
Yep.
So that's 5, 6, 7. It's all relative.
We're all right in there.
What's our time check?
20:49.
Ooh, we're right there. And we only have 1 game left, but we can hit on it a little bit later at Giants and Cowboys.
Yeah. That deserves to be hit on a little bit later. Because that's... A lot of stuff went down in that game.
Well, by the time we cut out the live phone call thing,
Right.
we'll be under 20. We'll be good.
True.
So first half is over. And Pigskin Holiday here, week 14. We'll come right back at you in the second half.